25 Forgotten Dinners. Every family in 1950s. 8 weekly. In 1953, the average American dinner cost just 67 cents and still fed a family of 5. From canned meat to homemade miracles, thrift wasn't just a lifestyle. It was survival. We're unlocking the steamy, savory secrets behind 25 dinners your grandparents ate every single week. Some loved, some endured, all unforgettable. Which dish from your childhood refuses to leave your memory? Drop it in the comments. Bonus points if it came from a can, a box, or the back of the freezer. 1. Creamed chipped beef on toast. SOS. You wouldn't believe it, but this salty, creamy dish actually helped feed a nation post-war. Thin strips of dried beef were stretched in a thick white gravy, then ladled over toast. Sometimes biscuits, if you were lucky. It was fast, frugal, and fed 5 on 50 cents. Want to slash waste and still fill plates? Turn scraps into sauce. Some soldiers despised it, hence the nickname SOS. But for many working-class families, it meant dinner was secure. 2. Tuna noodle casserole. Let's be honest, this smelled like the 50s. A can of tuna, cream of mushroom soup, egg noodles, and peas baked into one golden, bubbly block of budget genius. It fed 6 for under $1 and still left room for Jell-O. Don't overthink dinner. Assemble, bake, and forget it. Moms loved it because it was dump and go. Kids tolerated it because cheese and crackers usually landed on top. 3. Meatloaf with ketchup glaze. You could smell it from the driveway. Sweet ketchup caramelizing over beef. Meatloaf wasn't just dinner. It was a ritual. 1 pan, 1 pound of beef, stretched with breadcrumbs, onions, and love. That sugary glaze? It doubled as dessert if you were a hungry teen. Stretch 1 pound of meat across 5 plates with this timeless trick. Some added oats, some used evaporated milk. But all agreed, meatloaf was sacred. 4. Fried bologna sandwiches. What's cheaper than ham but fries like bacon? Bologna, sliced thick and seared hot. Pan-fried bologna curls like a meat flour, browning at the edges and sizzling with savory nostalgia. Add mustard, maybe cheese, and slap it on white bread. You've got a 5-minute miracle. Make lunch count with crispy edges and simple flavor. In factory towns, this sandwich was lunchbox gold. 5. Salmon patties with white gravy. Long before salmon was fancy, it was shelf-stable and full of omega-3s. Canned salmon mixed with egg and breadcrumbs became patties, fried crisp, and covered in thick gravy. Serve with mashed potatoes or peas, and you've got mid-century surf and turf. Protein-packed and pantry-ready, it's survival with style. Even kids tolerated it, if gravy was involved. 6. Stuffed bell peppers. My grandmother swore by these. Bell peppers stuffed with ground beef, white rice, and tomato sauce, baked till tender and bubbling. It looked impressive, but used the cheapest ingredients in the pantry. 1 tray could feed a family of 5 and still leave leftovers. Big flavor, low cost, plus they freeze like a dream. Her trick? Worcestershire and a dusting of sugar in the sauce. 7. Spaghetti with hot dogs. It sounds like a dare, but it worked. Sliced hot dogs stirred into spaghetti and tomato sauce made dinner fast, cheap, and kid-friendly. Forget meatballs. This was a 15-minute lifesaver with protein you didn't have to thaw. Don't underestimate the power of humble substitutions. It wasn't Italian, but it sure was American. 8. Ham and potato scallop. Baked scalloped potatoes made leftovers legendary. Thin slices of potato layered with chunks of leftover ham, smothered in cream of something soup and baked until bubbling gold. This was comfort food alchemy. Scraps turned satisfying. Use what's left, then let the oven do the rest. Some topped it with breadcrumbs, others melted cheddar into the mix. 9. Chicken a la king. You'd think this was served in a ballroom, not a bungalow. Creamy diced chicken with mushrooms, peas, and pimentos, served over toast, biscuits, or rice. It sounded fancy, but it came from leftovers and canned soup. Dress up scraps with cream and clever branding. One bite, and you'd swear it came from a hotel kitchen. 10. Beef liver and onions. Want iron, protein, and budget savings in one meal? Cook liver. Seriously. Sliced beef liver fried with onions was a nutrition bomb before vitamins came in pill form. It wasn't loved by all, but when cooked right, it melted in your mouth. Don't fear organ meats. They're cost-effective and loaded with nutrients. Doctors used to prescribe it for anemic kids. 11th. Tuna wiggle. No, it's not a dance. It's a creamy tuna pea concoction served over toast or crackers. Tuna wiggle used canned tuna, cream sauce, and peas in a budget-friendly pour-over format. It wiggled because of the wobbly white sauce and the way kids squirmed at the name. This dish was weird, warm, and wildly efficient. 12th. Sloppy Joes. If your shirt didn't stain, were you even eating it right? Sweet, savory ground beef loaded onto soft buns made this a messy, magnificent staple. It took 15 minutes, one skillet, and pleased every picky eater. Make cheap beef irresistible with sauce, sugar, and a splash of vinegar. 13. Boiled dinner. This Yankee classic boiled everything but the tablecloth: cabbage, carrots, potatoes, onions, and leftover ham or corned beef simmered into one steaming pot. It was a one-pot marvel rooted in frugality and hard winters. Boiling softened everything: meat, mood, and Monday blues. 14. Deviled ham salad sandwiches. What do you do with leftover ham and a craving for spice? You devil it. Mix minced ham with mayo, mustard, and pickles for a spread that snapped back. Served on Wonder Bread, it was tangy, salty, and shockingly addictive. Sometimes spicy, always budget-friendly, it earned its devilish name. 15th. Chicken pot pie from scratch. Before frozen food, pot pie meant rolling dough and stewing real meat. Diced chicken, carrots, peas, and gravy tucked inside a flaky, golden crust. It was Sunday supper gold. Hard work? Yes. Worth it? Every bite. Sometimes thrift takes time, not just shortcuts. 16. Macaroni and tomatoes. Just elbow macaroni, canned tomatoes, salt, pepper, butter. That's it. This Depression-era holdover was cheap, filling, and wildly customizable. For many, it was the first recipe they ever learned. Simplicity can be a statement and a lifesaver. 17. Porcupine meatballs. They weren't made from porcupine, but they looked like it. Raw rice mixed into meatballs expanded as they cooked, poking out like tiny quills. It was quirky, fun, and turned 1 pound of beef into a dozen hearty bites. Turn ordinary into memorable with texture. 18. Egg noodles with sour cream and onions. No meat? No problem. Egg noodles tossed with sour cream, caramelized onions, and maybe a hint of garlic created a meal rich with old-world charm. It was meatless comfort that felt indulgent and made the budget stretch days longer. Peasant food at its coziest. 19. Franks and beans. Every kid knew this dinner and the musical after-effects. Hot dogs sliced into baked beans was a near-nightly dinner in some homes. It was quick, full of protein, and tasted like sweet, smoky rebellion. Cheap laughs, cheaper meal. 20. Chicken and dumplings, cold night. Bubbling pot. Thick dumplings bobbing in broth. This was one of the most beloved stretch meals of the era. One chicken could feed 6, thanks to hearty dough and long simmering. This dish stretched not only meat, but time together. 21. Scrapple. It's made from pork scraps and cornmeal, pressed into a loaf, then pan-fried. Scrapple was a waste-not miracle that made mornings hearty, and nothing went to waste. You either loved it, or you left the room. Ugly? Maybe. Delicious? If fried right, 22nd, cabbage rolls Eastern Europe called them golumpki. We just called them dinner. Beef and rice wrapped in cabbage leaves, then simmered in tomato sauce until soft and savory. They were time-intensive, but made enough for tomorrow, too. Rolling your dinner? Surprisingly satisfying. 23rd. Baked ziti with cottage cheese? Ricotta was expensive, so home cooks used cottage cheese instead. It made ziti creamy and tangy, with bubbling tomato sauce and a golden top. Nobody complained. Most didn't even notice. Replacements don't have to feel like sacrifices. 24. Mock chicken legs. Why buy chicken when you can fake it? Ground pork was shaped around a stick, breaded and fried to look just like a drumstick. It fooled no one, but no one cared. Frugal can still be fun when it's crispy. 25. Tomato soup and grilled cheese. Some classics never fade. Canned tomato soup plus buttered grilled cheese was the comfort combo of rainy days and snowed-in nights. It was cheap, easy, and somehow always satisfying. You don't need complexity for connection. From porcupine meatballs to mock chicken legs, these meals tell the story of American resilience, stretching dollars, feeding families, and filling hearts. Hungry for more? Like the video and hit the subscribe button for more.